Today I was just going to be giving you a full walkthrough of the season server and what to do and how to upgrade gear and all that stuff. I'll leave timestamps in the description, so if you want to go ahead and jump to a certain part, you can go ahead and do that, because this is probably going to be a long video. The first thing I recommend doing is following the main storyline. It's the top one with the golden box. I made the mistake of trying to go to town to go buy myself a weapon to see if I could just grind my way up, when pretty much the main quest line guides you to that point anyway, so you might as well do the main story. And plus, while you're doing this, you're going to be getting the Naru gear going into Tuvala, so it's definitely important to do it. Once you finish the main quest of killing Red Nose, you'll eventually lead to Velia, and you'll be given a choice as to what path you want to do. There's the crossroads main path and the simplified. If you do the main path, which I recommend for a brand new player that hasn't played this, it slowly drip feeds your materials, like the beginner Blackstone weapons and armor, as well as the Naru gear, so that you can slowly get accustomed to how this game works. If you do the simplified route, you don't have to follow a main quest line, and all you got to do is just grind to 60. And while you're just leveling up, Black Spirit will be giving you all the materials needed for upgrading the Naru gear, while also leading into the Tuvala stuff. Which, if you plan on going the simplified route, I definitely recommend opening up your map and looking at the level ranges of the mobs in that area, and try to keep it within 4 levels. So you don't want to go higher than 4 levels because the mobs will be just too difficult to kill. So try to keep it within your level as best as you can. That way you can just grind those mobs, get to the maximum level of that mob, and then move on to a different set that's a little bit higher. And you can easily get to level 56 in like 4 hours or 5 hours. Especially if you have a good weapon right away. Like if you're managed to get a weapon on the auction house that's like a try or something, then you can do some really good damage, and you can be able to just like really storm through all those mobs very easily. So let me give you an example of a decent grinding route. So if you start off here in Velia, you'll probably be around level 10. So the first thing you can do is you can go over here to these goblins and kill these until you hit level 15. And then you can move up here and grind these guys until you hit 17. Then from here, you're going to walk all the way down here and start killing these imps. And you can kill these guys until you're about level 20. Then you can move over to these guys. These are 24 through 27. So you can stay here for a while. But these guys will probably be really tough if you're level 20 and don't have an enhanced weapon. So that's why I recommend going on the auction house and just buying like a cheap, good try weapon or something, just so you can have over 100 AP right there, so you can basically grind whatever the hell you want at that point. But if you don't, then I would suggest just staying at the imps until you hit around level 22 or so before you move on over here. Then from there, you can jump over to this side when you hit 27 and grind those. You can stay there until 31 or even a little bit higher. And you can move on over here to this refuge camp. Or you can just come down here and start fighting these guys at the mine. So you can stay there until 40. The only downside is that this mine doesn't really have a whole lot of mobs. They're kind of spread out a lot. So that's the downside with that. But most times I've ground here and I stood there for a little bit. And then I'll move on the moment I hit around level 38 to go either go to the Marnie lab, or I would just go immediately down to these giants, which these guys are really good because there's huge clusters of them. What I like to do is grind these guys until I'm about 46 to 47, and then I'll move on to my final area, which is here at the sanctuary. Nice, so 47. Then when I hit 49, I have to enable myself for PvP, which it doesn't matter on season servers because there's no PvP on here. I remember like when I first started playing this game and I saw that, and it was like, oh, you can't progress until you enable PvP, and I was like, oh no. I was like so frightened. And it's like, it's not even an issue, man. Like the moment you put it on, you start realizing that most people don't PvP. So you might run into a PvPer, maybe, out in the like real endgame zones, but most times there's really nobody doing it, you know? And worst case scenario, if it really did get that bad where you were getting jumped and spawn camped or any of that crazy shit, you could easily just swap servers. Because the greatest thing about this game is that you could literally just jump from server to server whenever you want. I was doing that a lot when I was working on my horse training. I would catch horses in one server, and once that place is completely done of horses, I would switch servers and then start catching horses in that server, you know. So then I'll keep rinsing and repeating. There's a cooldown on it. I think it's like an hour or some shit like that. But by the time I was done doing all the horses and all that shit, it was fine. And then I can just go and switch back to another server and just keep it rolling, basically. So it was nice. The season is definitely the best time to start playing. Like, if you've never played this game before, get into the season, do the main storyline, and it will get you familiar with the leveling process and doing all this stuff. But at the same time, it's giving you so much boost and so much like things that would like really help you out. And there's no wrong character to pick either, because I think that's probably like the most intimidating part, is like wondering what class to play when you first start playing. And honestly, I think just play whatever the fuck you think sounds cool. Like, if you want to play a ninja, go play a ninja. If you want to play a barbarian guy, whatever, just play whatever you feel like is something that you would enjoy. Just by judging off of the little video that they play on the bottom right of the screen when you're like picking a character, you can judge it off of that, you know. Most of the characters are pretty balanced for the most part, so like they're all gonna feel overpowered in PvE, but it's when PvP comes along there's a different story. But it's whatever. Like, if you're not interested in PvP, then you're probably not even gonna bother doing any of that anyway. So if you're the type of person that wants to go right into PvP at the start, then yeah, go do your research and figure out what classes are the best or whatever, according to everybody, because everybody has their own quote-unquote best. But it doesn't mean that it means other classes are garbage, you know. So like, that's the thing. So I'll do these until I hit 50, and you can decide on whether or not you want to just stick around in this area, because if you manage to get your weapon up to try, or maybe even higher, try to get like your Naru weapon, the pen, to turn it into a Tuvala, you could attempt to do the Marie Cave, which the mobs there are extremely difficult, so you got to be really careful with that area. But the tombstones are insane XP if you can manage to get kills. So if it's possible for you to get a friend to just like take you here immediately, then this is the best power leveling spot out there. But these mobs are vicious, so yeah, you gotta be very, very comfortable with your character before you really attempt that Marie Cave place. After the skeletons though, you can do whatever you want at that point. You can start fighting AP mobs, and I recommend coming out to these guys at the Helm Post, because there's a huge clusters of these guys, and they're really, really easy to kill. So as long as you got a little bit over 90 AP, and it's extremely easy to get like a weapon at 110 AP without even really upgrading anything except for just the weapon itself, that it makes it very simple to just come out here and just grind these guys. You could even go over to this side, and this is another huge group area where there's tons of mobs all over the place, and they give decent XP, so you could stay out here grinding until you hit 56 if you want. But that's pretty much it for getting to level 60. You can pretty much stay in this core area if you want to, but I do recommend starting to get your way out into the desert once you're getting into like the upper 55-ish, just so you can start getting some of the weeklies and stuff like that. Like, for example, I got a weekly to kill 5,000 of these guys out here in the desert, and that gives you a bunch of time stones that you're going to be using towards upgrading your Tuvala set. So it's good to go to areas that are going to multitask leveling up your Tuvala weapons and things like that. That way you're not really like wasting your time too much, and you're trying to like get as much done as possible, because out here in the desert is the main place you want to be when you're working on Tuvala. It seems like for the most part though, anything over 100 AP gives you pieces for your Tuvala set, so you could even go out into like the bottom part section out here into like the polys, forest, and all that stuff if you have enough AP for it. But me personally, I'd prefer to like stick out in the desert because I like the desert and at the same time it's pretty easy out there to get your grind on. Now it's time for the fun part, upgrading of gear. And of course I'm being sarcastic because this sucks ass, but but I'm going to try to help you. That way you're not wasting materials like I'm doing right here in this clip. Typically, the enhancement system works like this. You start at 1, and as you keep upgrading, your chance gets lower and lower each time, but your main goal is to get past 15 and go into Pry. And this is where it starts getting harsher with your chance towards getting to Pen. Each time you upgrade from this point on, from Pry up to Pen, if you fail your chance, you are sent back to the one lower than it. So you can't go from Pry to 15, but you can go from Duo to Pry again if you fail. So to get a better understanding about this enhancement system, let me show you examples of how this works. I'm using the Tuvala set that I have right now, but if you're starting with the Naru, then it's going to be using the Blackstone weapons and armor instead of these time-filled Blackstones. They would typically give you a low chance, like 20%, like in this case. So if I was to go ahead and enhance right now and I fail it, I'm going to lose 10 durability when I do that. When you're upgrading the Naru gear, you're going to be using the beginner Blackstone weapons and armor. Don't bother trying to upgrade your accessories like the rings, earrings, belt, and the necklace, because you will be given free ones that are try as you're just doing your quest line. And then when you're going into Tuvala, which unlocks at the blacksmith, once you hit level 57, you can get your Tuvala set through that. So don't even bother with the accessories until you get to Tuvala. While you're upgrading your Naru gear, you're just gonna try to like push it through as fast as possible. Don't worry about using any of your advice of Valk or anything like that, because it's fairly easy to get a Naru gear to Pen just from smashing through on it. Also, another thing I forgot to mention is fail stacks. Every time you fail an enhance, you will be given a fail stack, which ups your little percentage towards the next time you do an upgrade. So the more you fail, basically the more the game is going to pity you and give you an extra chance at getting it. The only issue with that is you already know it's going to downgrade your piece if it fails. So what you could do as a security measure is you could get a piece of gear to try or something, keep that on your character, then make a new one and get that one up to try, and then try to get over to Tet and Pen with it. It does use a lot more materials, but at least you don't have to worry about losing the piece that you already got as high as you could in the process of all this. So here's one of my items that's already at try. So I'm only getting a 7% chance base. If I was to go ahead and try to enhance this, it's most likely going to fail. I'm going to lose 10 durability and the level will decrease down to 2. To keep it from going down to Duo, what you could use is the cronstones, which I like to call condoms. You use these and it at least keeps your thing at 3 in this case, and it won't go down to 2. But as you can see, it's pretty expensive when you're using the Tuvala set. If you're using the Naru set, it's not as bad. It's about like 5 cronstones, probably even less. So you can get away with using that. But unless you were like me and just hoarded cronstones throughout years of playing this game, then you're probably going to have very little or none. You can get more of them at the blacksmith, but they go for $2 million a piece. So I definitely don't recommend doing that. And you probably don't really have the money if you're a new player. So instead of going that route, we're just going to go with no cronstones and basically just try our luck. There's 2 really important enhancement chance booster things. It's this additional enhancement chance. What this does is you have several options. Before, it was only one type of option, which was the advice of Valk. It's nice that they added this pretty recently, where you can use Blackstone armors and Blackstone weapons. These are the basic ones that you use during the normal game. So unfortunately, you can't use the Blackstone beginner ones to do this. But if you get your hands on some of these, you can use that to up your enhancement chance. So in this case, let's say if I used 84 of them, I can get a plus 30, which will give me 21% in this case towards my total. So that would bring me up to 28% if I was to go ahead and do that. I'm not going to do that. That's a waste for me. But there's also the advice of Valks, which you'll be getting throughout your season as you're doing stuff. And especially if you go to a Fugar, which is the guy that you can turn in some of your materials for and kind of exchange and all that, he gives you a bunch of advice of Valks for doing certain tasks. So it's definitely recommended to go to him and and see what kind of stuff you can do to get more of these. You can also use your time-filled blackstones when you start going into Tuvala to transfer that to get more Advice of Valks if you want to. It burns through a lot of them, so I really don't recommend it, but if you're getting really close to getting pen on something, I definitely recommend go ahead and doing that route just so you can get your stuff done as painless as possible. There's also this devour option. I haven't used this, but I'm assuming it has to do with having the same type of weapon and then feeding it to that. But I wouldn't go that route. I'd rather just use the Advice of Valks if you have them, which in this case I have plenty, so that's why I've been hoarding these for a long time. Another option to up your chance a little bit is these Valk enhancements. So if you click on that, you'll get these Vault Cry things. You see, I already have some from the event, so that's basically from doing this season. I've been getting a few of them. You can feed as much as 10 of them to it, but in this case, it gave 7. It's probably because I'm still kind of low. Once I get closer to pen, it's probably going to go lower and lower and lower each time, and that's how it works with the Advice of Valks as well. But this is a good little extra oomph just to kind of add an extra chance to it on top of having the Advice of Valks on top of it. You can choose to skip the animation, so if you don't want to see yourself get tortured for a while, then you can go ahead and just skip it and go straight into the results. I usually do the skip animation if I'm just trying to quickly level up to pry or something. And then once I'm in this state where I'm at like try, I shut off the skip animation just to like torture myself basically. And I don't know, maybe it just gives an extra chance mentally, but I don't know, I just feel like it kind of helps my mental state to feel like, you know, something good is going to happen during that time. But once you're done getting one of your weapons or armor of Naru set to pen, it gives you the option of changing it into a Tuvala weapon or armor, depending on what it is that you're enhancing. So that's a really cool new feature that came through, because before you used to have to talk to Fugar in order to translate it. Now that you're going into Tuvala though, this is when it gets extremely stressful, because your chance to roll is extremely low and you're going to be eating through a lot of materials. Which, like I said before, the AP 100 mobs are pretty much what you're going to be trying to focus on. The higher the AP, it seems like the higher the chance to get these things. You want to try to fight AP mobs that are as high as possible to what you can handle. So like in this case, you see my gear goes up to 221 AP, and then the awakening is slightly higher. So that means I can fight mobs that are 200-ish AP now. And I feel like it kind of ups your chance to get these pieces. So the stuff you're going to be working towards is getting time-filled blackstones. That's the main thing you're going to be getting a lot of. And you can use this and exchange it to Fugar to get more Tuvala ores, and exchange it for the Advice of Valks and the Valks cries and all the stuff that you would need for enhancing. And this is also the main currency you're going to be using to upgrade your gear. The Tuvala ores are really important because this is what you use to not only get duplicates of the items that you have in case you break something, but also you can use it to repair your broken equipment. So every time you fail and enhance, you'll lose the durability. And if your weapon breaks or your armor breaks, you can use the Tuvala ores to basically fix it back up at the blacksmith to full, and then you can go ahead and enhance some more. But you'll burn through these Tuvala ores really, really fast. So you can also exchange these time-filled blackstones for Tuvala ores if you're really, really low. The lifesaver one is this refined magical blackstone. What this does is it makes it so that you pretty much get a guaranteed from pry, which is 1, up to 2, and also up to 3. It gets a little bit more expensive each time, but once you reach your cap of 3, you can then make more educated decisions as to whether or not you want to use your Advice of Valks or your Cron stones or anything to try to get up to Tet, and then to try to get up to Pen, which is the cap. So these refined magical blackstones is basically like a shortcut to getting halfway through your gear upgrading process. And these are extremely rare to get, so you'll find a bunch of them through grinding. You can also exchange the time-filled blackstones with Fugar to get some more of them. So now that I'm done talking about the basics of the enhancement system, I'm just going to show you some of the stuff I went through while leveling and just give you a little bit of my advice as I'm doing it. Trying to get the rings and all that shit to pen, which surprisingly when I was clearing some of the dailies or whatever, or the like this, I think it was the season pass or something, it gave me a pen ring. So I got the pen Tuvala ring out of that. I don't know what gave me it. I don't remember. Maybe it was like one of these boxes or some shit, but that was pretty nice. That was pretty nice. But oh no, actually it was a daily login that gave me it. So I thought that was pretty interesting. And so now it's trying to get this last one to pen is it's always scary thinking about trying to get a freaking ring to pen. Like, oh, let's see what the requirements are first before I go ahead and do this. I need to get a ring. I'm supposed to talk to the blacksmith. Also, I'm not exactly sure of this, but I believe when you hit level 57, the blacksmith finally lets you exchange for Tuvala pieces. But it could also mean that you have to beat a certain part of the main quest to get to that point. But then again, I didn't do any extra quests, and I went from 56, where he wasn't giving me any exchange option, to turning into 57. Then all of a sudden I was able to exchange. So that's why I think that you just need to be at least 57 before he lets you get Tuvala pieces. Okay. All right, give me a ring. Okay, here we go. Here's the fun. Alright, let's go ahead and do it. I'm using Cronstone. And... oh, I gotta put the chance 80. Fail, you see? What the fuck? Like, I'm glad I used the thing, but... seriously? Seriously? A 72% chance, and the thing said, hey, you're using a really high thing. Are you sure you want to do that? Because you have a high chance of success, it said. Oh, fucking liars. I hate it. I hate this upgrade system so much. Oh my god. It's so scary every single time, man. Alright, come on. I have to get this. I have to. Like, come on. See? High chance of success. Like, bullshit. You're fucking lying. Come on, man. Okay, good. I was about to cry right there. Like, if that would have failed. No, man. Alright, there we go. I got 2 pens. I got the 2 rings. Done. Alright, now... the armors is the easiest, so I'm not even stressed about that. Like, it's basically just the freaking accessories that's the scariest part. I guess what I could do is just keep the pry in there, just start upgrading another one, and that would be the one that I work on instead. Get it as high as I can. That way I don't lose my spot, basically. So what I could do is do this. 70% chance I should be able to get that. There we go. 55% chance. Fuck it. Let's go. Failed. It's alright. Go again. Boom. Alright, let me buy some more rings.
The best blacksmith? Well, it looks like you can call it a day.
See, this is where you burn through everything. It's doing this. Buy 4. And then... boom. Get it to... come on. Son of a bitch. Alright. Come on, man. Fuck, man. I'm trying not to burn through my stuff, but at the same time...
this is steel made with Cont blacksmithing. Other metals
this is the bullshit part, man. Alright, let's do this right. Let's not waste all the Tuvala ores. Okay. Go. Flap. Oh, come on. Come on now. Shit. Now they're bullshitting me. Especially when you have over 70% chance and then they still fail. Like, that's like an insult right there, man. It's so bad. Alright, so let's see. Boom. Come on. Alright, you know what? I'll put a cheapy advice of Valk. How about the 10? 11% chance. Come on, 66% chance. Come on, I'm not that unlucky. There we go. That shit would have failed, and then that would have been hilarious. All right, so now let's see if we can get it to, you know. Okay, you know what? I'll pop another one. How's this? 9% chance. Let's give it a little bit more. I'll give it the 30. How's the 30? 27% chance. Yeah, 72. Come on now. There we go. We're at 3. Now the question is, do I park it here? Because I could park it here and then basically, you know, save my spot. So I got a 3, so that's good, right? So I got 2 3s now equipped. Now I got the 1 that I was sitting on. So basically the concept is I could now try to upgrade this 1 to pass the 3s that I have, and like basically I made myself a save point. The only downside with that is that you're losing, you know, more Tuvala ores in order to do that. But I do have a shit ton of time-filled blackstones that I've been grinding, so I probably could transition that into Tuvala ores and, you know, get my Tuvalas back. Go ahead and try to do this. I'll use a thingy. I got so many of these things that it's pretty nice. It's pretty nice to be able to like not give a shit. All right, there we go. 2, and then 1 more. See if we can get it to 3. Use the 30. Yes. There we go. We're at 3, so we're caught up. All right, let's see. Can we get to Tat? I'm gonna use. I got plenty of 50s. So I guess I could use a 50. Go ahead. 70% chance. Come on now. Oh, asking me for permission. I hate when it does this. There we go. Tat. All right, so now, do I just push it through the pen, or do I use this as a saving point? I think, fuck it. I'm gonna push it through, I think. I'm gonna push it through. Can we get a pen? I'm gonna use my last of the 70. That's 39% chance. And then I can use some Valk's cries thingies. I got plenty of those. 5%, that's it. All right, let's see. Let's let the animation play so I could suffer some more. All right, pen. Okay, got it. All right, very, very good. I'm gonna use 21%, 30, 40, 50. Not any more than that. Let's use the 50. There we go, 70% chance. That should be more than enough. Come on. There we go. All right, now pen. Use the highest one. Boom. And some support. 67% chance. Oh my god, that sounds risky as hell. All right, here we go. Don't catch any STDs. Come on. Yes, pen. Oh yes. Yes, 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 yes. Very good. All right, so I'm full pen with that. Earrings, rings. Awesome. Now I can burn down this extra one and get my Tuvalas back. That's great. That's really good. Because even if you have the extra duplicate, you could just you know, process it down and get your Tuvalas back, and then you can keep going. So that works extremely well. Now it's belt and necklace. Those are the 2 last ones.
That takes out a village.
because I'm not worried about the armor pieces. That's the easiest shit to level up. Not worried at all. Boom, blap. Let's use the 30, 27% chance. Boom, got this. Okay, let's see. Let's do it again. Push it through 90%. No. I'm not gonna use my thing, so I'm gonna exchange my chance. I'll save that. Save that for later. There we go. Should I push it through with the 50? Cause I don't give a shit. All right, nice. And then I'm gonna use my exchange chance like I did before. 72% chance. Come on now, you gotta get it. Really now? Really?
The best blacksmith?
Really? Why do I feel like when I'm doing this, I'm at the casino betting money that I don't have, hoping that I make my money back at least so I can keep going? Is that what this is supposed to feel like? Like, it's like, basically, this is a gacha game mechanic right here. This is why I stopped playing this game. It's too punishing. I go back now and then it just feels nostalgic. Yeah, I get what you mean. Yeah, because you know what's the easiest way to like do the gear thing? Just go on the auction house and just buy it. That's it. And you don't need the best gear in the world to have fun, honestly. Like, if you're gonna be PvPing, then maybe it's a different story, which that's something I do want to try eventually. So once I'm out of the season, I want to try some PvP because I never really bothered. Like, that's why I've always told everyone that was getting into Black Desert to just like go on the auction house, look at what you want. Like, you can find so much good shit on there. Like, I could just show you some ideas. I don't know if the season is a different kind of auction house. Let me see. But let's say like you wanted to look at a weapon for your class. This is not a weapon for my class, but I just want to show you as an example. You can filter it, you see, by item grade. So I put it top to bottom. The highest tier, everyone wants a Black Star weapon, and that's like the biggest one. Look at this. You can buy a pen for 132 billion. That sounds like a ridiculous number, and I would probably never do that. But the cool thing is that you can buy weapons that are pretty close to this in damage. Like, you see how this Tet version for 14 billion, 122 AP over 128. All right, let's keep that number in mind. The only thing that you're not going to be getting, obviously, is the bonuses that it has. The bonuses are pretty good. But if I go down and I pick, let's say, this blue one, and then I look at the pen version of that one, like, sometimes you can get close to that. Look, 122 over 126. What was the thing again for Black Star? Okay, no, that's Tet. 122 over 128 for Tet. Like, so that's actually pretty good if you think about it that way. Like, you can get this blue one and chill with that for a while, you know? And you can get the pen one for only 2.5 billion versus the 135 billion, you know, that crazy amount. So that's what I recommend people do, is that, you know, like, you see how this Tet version is like not even that much off from the pen. It's 114 over 118. This is 122 over 126. So it's like 10 points off, basically. And look at the value of it. 740 million. That's nothing compared to like the billions for like the, you know, getting a pen. So I personally would go ahead and I'll buy the Tet and I'll live with that. I'm chilling. Like, look at it compared to my pen Tuvala piece. You see that? I went through all the effort to go through all this grind to level up this weapon, you know, and it probably took me, I don't know, like maybe fucking 6 to 7 hours to get this to pen, you know, versus I could have made 740 million just from grinding in like a few hours, like 2 hours, I would say. Like 2 or 3 hours, you can make that much money easy. And there you go. You have the weapon, and you didn't even go through any of the effort of all that bullshit of trying to roll it and trying to get stressed out and all that bullshit. No, fuck that. Like, you might as well just buy it on the auction house, and that's it. Like, that's it. Let somebody else go through the stress, and then you go ahead and you take advantage of it. And that's basically what the concept is. I honestly prefer that method over trying to like stress out over bullshit. So yeah. So like my main guy is my Sage, and what I did was I got the Naru gear, and I upgraded it. And the Naru gear, you just get it through just doing the main quest line. Once you get to about level 60-ish, you can upgrade that Naru from pen, because you have to work and do the whole process like I'm doing right now with the upgrading. You get those to pen, and then you turn it in for the Narchilian set, and the Narchilian set is just as good as this Tuvala stuff, probably a little bit more I think than this. And I mean, you'll be able to participate in pretty much everything. Look, my AP is already at 221, Awakening 223. My defense thing is low because I haven't upgraded my pieces, but it's all right. Whatever. Oh, I haven't equipped it. That's probably why. There it is, 238. So that's pretty good. You can do a lot with that. 221. Like, look at all the grind spots I can go to now with that. Like, I can actually hang out over here now. I can start doing things over here. See these 120s. I can't fuck with these guys. I can't fuck with these guys. But you know what I mean? Like, you can actually start doing some other shit. Go to polys. So there's content, you know. You can participate in some shit. Go out here, I don't know. Do some of this stuff. So I could probably start finally killing these guys, because I was actually struggling before I upgraded this gear. So I can, oh yeah, I'm at 221. It was a 210. So yeah, I can go over there and whoop some ass finally. So yeah, that's the cool part about it. You don't have to really stress out too much about the gear. Whatever. I mean, I think the only time you're ever going to stress out about gear is if you're like really serious about PvP. I think that's it. PvP could probably end up changing your whole mindset. The last thing I wanted to point out is these coins. You got these that you could turn in. If you right click on them, it will give you the location of the NPC, and then you can go ahead and turn it in. But they give you a lot of different things. For example, inventory slots, the captcha stones that you can use to upgrade your gear, or you could just sell them on the auction house like I do. I make a shit ton of money on those things. You could turn it in for exchange coupons for weapons, get a tier 8 horse like this bad boy that I have right here, or bad girl, I would say. So it's really nice to stockpile on these things while you're out there grinding, because every mob that you're killing has a chance to drop this, and then you can go ahead and get whatever you want. But I think that covers all the basics of the season, and I really hope this video was helpful. I know this video is way longer than I've ever done on my channel, so yeah, this video was pretty ambitious for me. But anyways, thanks for watching. Leave a thumbs up if you liked the video, thumbs down if you didn't, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Later.